Hi, I'm Kara O, and this is another edition of Lip Smack and Love, and I want to talk about control. I know I've talked about this before, but it's really such an important topic. I think one of the things that makes women so unhappy in their relationships is that they are trying to control the situation, trying to control the relationship, trying to control the man. And they don't realize that's what they're doing. They think they're working on the relationship. They think they're trying to get him to basically behave, to do the things. Why? He doesn't call me often enough. He doesn't say he loves me often enough. He doesn't give me presents. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He does too much of that. I get this all the time. I mean, I have literally dozens of women write to me every day asking for advice. And I would say that half of it, maybe more, has to do with this topic of women trying to control what the relationship is doing. And that's, you know, the bottom line, they're making themselves miserable. They really are. They're creating so much angst within themselves by worrying about all these things, especially in the beginning of a relationship when you're trying to get to know someone. What I have noticed is that women try to make it work without really noticing whether they should be. Just because you've been dating a while and you've invested some time in it doesn't mean you need to stay. We think that as soon as it starts, maybe, you know, well, women do it sometimes online. They'll do it even before they've met the guy. But, you know, say you get to the point where you're finally committing to each other, making the promise that you're only going to date each other and you're only going to have sex with each other, okay? That would be what would be considered a committed relationship. You've made that promise. You've not made a promise that you're going to be forever. And a lot of women think that the moment that promise happens, that, okay, he says, I'm not going to date anyone else and I'm only going to have sex with you, whew, we're off and running. We're going for the finish line, which is, you know, marriage or moving in or whatever her goal is. Oh my God, it wears me out just hearing all these stories from women. And what's really fascinating, this is just a little insider thing, they're like this long, and there's no break. There's no paragraphs or anything, and it's like I can't read it. I can't follow it. So anyone who's listening, at least give me paragraphs, and preferably, yeah, go ahead and write that whole thing out. Do it as a journal. You know, you spewing and get it out of your system. Just a journaling exercise, and then boil it down for me. That would be preferable, so I can really get to your advice, because if you give me a long one, I'm going to put it off most of the time, and then you wonder why it takes me a little longer. So, you know, give it to me in a nutshell. But go ahead and do the writing, because that's your journal. But don't, you know, just notice how much you're angsting over what's going to be happening, why it's not going the way you want. The way you want to control it. You shouldn't be trying to control it at that early stage. What you should be doing is just noticing, what's going on over there? What's he like? Why did he do that? Just noticing, is he the guy for you? But that's not what happens usually. The moment there's some feelings, the moment that promise happens, man, you are trying to force it, trying to control it so that it turns into this relationship you want. So that's just, you know, I mean, all these topics kind of thread together and you end up with this tapestry called, you know, trying to be in a relationship. But it really should be, well, I'm a proponent of win-win love. And it's about looking at both sides of it. How are we going to make this so that we both feel good about what's happening? We both get what we want in such a way that we come together in a synergistic way. That the coming together of us, you and me, makes it bigger than the two of us. That's what it should be. Instead of trying to control it, trying to control him, trying to control the relationship. Step back and look at the big picture and see if it is a truly, truly a win-win love. If it's not, I think you ought to look at it again and be sure that you should be wasting your time there, because most of the time that's what's going on. You're wasting your time and you're getting too invested. So that's just a little bit on that topic for today. I'm Kara O, wishing you lots of lip smacking love. Mwah.